Good morning, Millennial Morticians. Happy Wednesday morning. Today is actually my birthday. I am turning 21 today, and I want to say thank you guys for all the love and all the support, tuning in each and every week, and bettering not only your funeral home, but bettering yourself and your mental health. So I appreciate you guys for that, and I love you guys. Thank you so much for the continued support, and I look forward to the future of this amazing podcast and what's to come. The title of today's episode on my birthday is the winning season. The winning season. I got this topic this week because I was in the car. I think it was either Wednesday night, and I was listening to different songs, and they had a commonality in the music. And the commonality was talking about winning and being accomplished and getting your self esteem and your mind and your heart right. And I want to encourage us in the funeral industry to get comfortable with winning again. I think COVID, I think changing in families and people's mindsets and attitudes has caused us to be comfortable in losing. And not only in that area, but also financially. There's a lot more things that go into planning a funeral, a lot more hands in the funeral pocket. And it's causing us to feel like we're losing. And so I want you guys to rethink and redevelop your plan to put yourself in a winning season mindset and a winning season strategy. Because to be honest with you guys, even though there's so much going on in the world, there's no time better to win than right now. And I truly believe that you guys have come to the right place and that you guys are capable of creating an environment in your funeral home where you can win and be successful and grow and expand and do things on your own and not have to feel like you're stuck just where you are. I say that to say trade embalming has exploded in popularity. Trade funeral directors are probably going to be coming out in a couple of years if there's not already out there. And so there's people trying to win from a whole bunch of different avenues. And the focus has always, or mostly in this funeral industry, has been corporate, corporate, corporate. Um, and that can be a good thing. But I also want us to look at the ways that the private funeral homes, the smaller firms, what are they doing to stay competitive in the market? I do think that corporate funeral homes do set a great price standard for our industry and help elevate us in that matter. And so it helps the little guys a little bit get footing in their markets, and they're able to charge a little bit higher prices with the competitors to still stay alive. And so, every funeral home has their pros and cons, but there's a lot of funeral homes that we did lose over the pandemic. And I think people forget that a lot of people shut the doors for the last time as soon as it was over and just said, I can't take this anymore. This business is, it's just getting a little out of hand for me. And a lot of people lost their businesses. A lot of people didn't have their businesses, didn't have a plan to pass their funeral homes on to anybody else. And so it just created a stagnicity in the marketplace and caused the industry to really rethink what do we need to change and what do we need to do. And I want to encourage somebody today by telling you guys that it's simply like this. You get in what what you put in is what you get out of funeral services. So if you don't put anything in, you can't expect to get a return on your investment or ROI back to yourself. If you put a whole lot in and you're there every day and you're dedicated, then you obviously can definitely expect to get a whole lot back. And I think, to be honest, I think people in our industry who have been in it for a very long time, I think they're tired of working hard for their money. And what I mean by hard for their money is not that the work is hard or what they're doing is hard. I think they're just tired of having to be there all night, work all day, come in this time, this time, this time, do this. They're working extremely hard for the money. Although we're making phenomenal amounts of money in our industry, I think people are tired of quote unquote working hard. And so you see people kind of pulling back from that, trying to get other people to manage their funeral homes, manage their businesses, trying to really reevaluate what is the funeral industry going to look like, not just with me running it, but beyond me. And that's what you call creating a winning season. They're trying to create a funeral home that can operate solely on its own. Because let me tell you guys, the funeral homes that you work for, long after you're gone, long after I'm gone, those businesses are still going to be running. And there has been down there, as you guys know, there are down seasons in the funeral home. But if you manage your funeral home correctly and realize that you are a event planner, basically, you're an event planner for a whole bunch of different industries now than you have ever been before, and you play that to your advantage, then your funeral home can be profitable year round, and you really can have winning seasons. And so I'm just encouraging the people who felt like they've lost so much over the years in the funeral industry. And a lot of people out there that feel like the industry just takes from them and never gives anything to them. I want to encourage you too to know that this industry is a very giving industry. It's very unforgiving, but it's very in tune. You have to be tapped into it. You can't have a whole bunch of stuff going on, and not to say you can't have stuff going on in your personal life, because you still want to live and you still have a life too. But this industry is a take industry, and the only way you can refill yourself to give is if you align yourself in the right mental space, in the right heart posture, and you're doing honest, good, and fair business. And I don't know if you guys seen on the news lately. I've seen a lot of articles about funeral homes doing illegal stuff, state boards catching them do this, and this, and this. And so that plays a part in one of us represents all of us, and I'm so big on that. When I see someone or I see a funeral home post something or do something illegal or illicit, it makes me nervous, because that changes the public perception of our industry as a whole. And so we all need to operate in a sense of the fact that we all represent each other, and we all should be proud of each other, and we all should be stick together. And that's why I'm so heavy and big on you guys on joining an organization, joining your funeral, your boards, joining your state organizations. Run for something if you can, and just really get involved in the hands on, because the real work that's needed, not just in the back. I know there's a lack of embalmers too. There's a shortage of embalmers, but there's really, what our industry is really lacking right now is people who want to be hands-on with this. We have a lot of people in our industry right now that I feel want to be touch and go. They want to kind of be in it, kind of not lukewarm. But there's some real good people in this business that aren't lukewarm, that want to have a real deep footprint in this business, in this industry, know that there's space, know that there's funeral homes out there that are looking for some great potential candidates, some great people out there. And understand this: to keep your calling, you have to continuously cultivate. I'm going to say that one more time. To keep your calling, the calling that's on me in your lives to do this work, you have to continuously cultivate. So you have to continuously change your mind. You have to continuously be able to study and investigate. You have to continuously get your CCCE hours, or whatever it's called, your continuous credit hours. You have to continuously evolve in this, or you will get bored, or you will get stagnant. It's so easy to get. Somebody asked me the other day, is the job hard? The job is not hard. Working on the bodies, honestly, is the easiest, one of the kind of sort of the easiest parts of the job. The hard part is dealing with families, dealing with people's emotions and their grief, and helping them heal and push through that. The gift to work on the deceased is already within us. So we have to take our gift and apply it to people who aren't in a mindset, in a heart posture to really receive what we have to give them. Because let's be quite honest and frank. Number one, they don't want to see us in the first place. And so you want them to feel like, hey, if I choose Boop and Boop Funeral Home, I'm going to win, because they're going to treat me good. I'm going to get the best service. I'm going to get the best product. I'm going to get the best. So you want people going in knowing they're going to have the best of the best of the best. And so that's why every week we're pushing you guys further and further. I'm advancing you guys further and further. And I look forward to next year, and as the months go on, as the episodes go on, as we finish out December, having more guests on here that are really going to change and challenge our thinking. Because real evolution happens when there's a challenge. And as we know in the funeral business, there's always challenges to come. And so this week, get your staff together, get your team together, put it on a board, write it down, get together a plan, and say, what's our winning season strategy? What for next season, for the spring season, for the winter, for the fall season? What's the strategy for our funeral home to win and to excel and exceed? Well, guys, it's my birthday. My name is Jaden Fowlkes. I'm the host of the Millennial Mortician podcast. Make sure you guys like, comment, and subscribe. I look forward to seeing you guys on the next episode. And remember, this is the podcast that